Hello everyone, and welcome to Forza Horizon 5. One long-awaited title, in my mind. One that I think has been hyped up quite a bit, and straight away, I do think it lives up to the hype. So far, I've only invested about maybe 6 hours, 5 or 6 hours into the game. Haven't unlocked too many cars or anything quite yet, but so far, so good. The world is really pretty. The Mexico map and everything looks really nice. A lot of different textures from Horizon 4, obviously, because we're in a different part of the world. But it's a huge map. There's a lot to explore on this map, and I'm really looking forward to exploring it. I've done a very small amount of finding roads, but we'll get there. It's a work in progress. Just wanted to make this video to kind of share some of my initial impressions, things I really like about the game, specifically using, you know, kind of the race sim setup with steering wheel, shifter, handbrake. And the first thing I noticed was sounds, but also just little things tied to the driving experience. So, one was interior sounds, and I think they did a really nice job of various noises that you couldn't really catch in Horizon 4, one of them being induction noise, and I think the GT3 here that I'm in, which was the first car I got from a wheel spin, this one, that guy made me lose my train of thought. Rude. This one is kind of a nice balance of all these different kinds of sounds, not too overwhelming with turbo noise and everything, so like just induction noise straight away was really nice. You can kind of hear as I'm accelerating there. And that sounds pretty accurate. I was pretty surprised by that, and it sounds really nice when you're downshifting and everything. Another thing that I really like as well is when you start off here slowly from a stop with your clutch, it is actually smooth. It's finally smooth. In Horizon 4 it was really jolty and jerky, and it was just kind of weird, and it wasn't really realistic at all, so this one's much better. But so we'll just go for a little drive here and I'll show you kind of what I mean with some of these sounds, and I'll show you another cool tuning feature I found in the menus, which I think is really quite neat if you're particular about sounds like I am. A few things, I don't really know how to get the mouse to go away other than to push it to the side of the screen, and I don't know why this isn't going away. I turned off a lot of the notifications for the HUD, but apparently not that one, so sorry in advance. Haven't really played with too many of the engines, or various cars rather. Kind of just been playing with this one because the sounds are intriguing, so I'll just drive here for a sec and shut up so you guys can listen. Wait, pause. Gotta get this XP board. trying to get as many of these as I can. In my newness to this game. Gotta level up so I can get more cars to show you. But yeah, I suppose that brings me next to wheel settings. Because I didn't know if I could just pull everything from Horizon 4 over. And you kind of can. Although, from what I felt, I've driven a few cars, and I think the stock tunes are a little more, I guess, like specific to the car. Because this thing handles, this GT3 handles really well off the stock tune. And I don't remember it doing such in Horizon 4 as well. You know, it had obviously good handling characteristics. I think it's just, you know, that much more of the focus here in this game. So, and I'll show you real quick my settings for my G29. So obviously this is all personal preference, and you know, depending on the wheel that you have, G29 has a good amount of power for centering and everything like that. But it is noisier, and that bugs me when recording or whatever. So I've turned down some of these sensitivities, let's see, for like the off-road feel and the road feel. And again, to each their own. But those are just things of mine I thought were a little too much. But for most of the other ones, I went up in power and sensitivity. And I turned vibration off because I don't like the vibration. But it's pretty close, I would say, to Horizon 4. I know this is all over the place, and it's not exactly what it was for me in 4, but work in progress. You know, I think it's going to take a little while to kind of get a different feel for all the cars and such. But just to give you an idea of what I started with there. There seems to be a much bigger focus on off-road in this game, and that might just be because the map is bigger and I am not totally acquainted with it yet. But the detail, I guess, and feel of the dirts, paths, and trails and stuff are much more detailed. You can feel more through your wheel. It just feels more involving because of that, I think. So that's something I'm interested to try out. I didn't focus too much on off-roading in Horizon 4. I stuck to mostly road races and stuff, and excelled in like the circuit races. Didn't focus too much on. Oh, here, this is something they took away in Horizon 4. When you went through the tunnels here, like they kind of amplified the sound. No more. So obviously, there's still tunnel echo, but I kind of liked how it got a little quieter for the surrounding noises and really focused in on the car. I thought that was a cool effect, but they did not pursue that here for this one. And I have tried it in various length tunnels. Have not noticed too much of a change between them. So, anyway. As well with shifting the clutch, at least. I've noticed that it's touchier, like when you miss shifts and stuff, it'll kind of hesitate gears, whereas in 4, I think it just missed the shift more often and it would just bounce off the rev limiter and then engage, which is fine, but this is obviously just a little more focused in on the real thing, which I think is nice. It makes playing on a wheel in a chair with the pedals and everything easier in a game where it's not totally meant for it. Obviously, it doesn't have the most realistic physics and such, but it still makes it quite a bit of fun. So for this car, I think I did an intake and a camshaft. And actually, while I'm thinking of it, let's go to the festival here, because actually we'll go home. I found this cool part of the menu, and I'm sure a lot of other people have already found it. But basically, in the upgrade section, you can go in here. Well, we'll start here. Auto upgrade. Basically allows you to homologate your car, essentially, to various power levels. So, obviously I'm already a touch above 800, but if I wanted to go to 900, I could. And what I think it does is it doesn't change aspiration at all. So if it's naturally aspirated, it just basically tacks on as many parts as it can without adding turbos or supercharger or something else, and without doing an engine swap. So you'll have the original engine with just a bunch of the upgraded parts for, you know, ignition, fuel, camshaft, displacement, that kind of stuff. So in this case, doing that, it only gets to 875. Whereas, you know, if we go in here, the custom upgrade and conversion to a different engine, I can put in the 4-liter flat 6 from the newer GT3, I think is that engine, and then get more power out of it. And then of course as well, you have your twin turbo upgrades and stuff like that. But one of the cool things that you can see down here in the bottom left, you can see rev engine. So as you're going through here with all your parts, you can actually start the engine and rev the car up and hear what it sounds like. And then if we go in here and change the exhaust, you can actually hear live what it sounds like. So that's kind of cool, because I always wondered if certain exhausts were going to ruin certain car noises in Horizon 4, but you had to install it, completely leave the garage, go drive it, and find out. Whereas here, you can just say, oh yeah, this sounds really nice. And you can go through, and it does it for various parts too, like intake. Okay, go back to the old one. There's subtle sounds depending on the part. It's not perfect yet. But so anyway, there's a lot of different sounds that can kind of be changed. Some of them don't show up in here. Like I changed the camshaft, and let's see if it does. Yeah, so you can hear it didn't change, but I think that when you're driving it, it does change. I feel like I noticed the difference, but regardless, cool feature for the, I guess, kind of audio tuning per car. And then obviously you have tuning setups. You can come in here, do the same custom tuning. I don't think I did anything to this one, quite honestly, other than maybe caster. And then a slight bit of toe for more responsiveness up front. And yeah, and I was driving around, it didn't feel like it needed too much more. So, and as well, I'm looking forward to, gosh, I can't remember who made the video. There's basically like 75 wheel spins or super wheel spins to be unlocked. And he did all of them at once to kind of compare the Horizon 4 awards to this game. And it looked to be significantly better. And granted, since this was the very first car I got from the wheel spins, I believe it. So I'm excited to see how those go in the future as I get some. But I've just been kind of exploring the world and not really focusing on too many events at this point. We'll get there, but getting a feel for roads. One other thing I noticed, let's see if we come up to a bridge here soon, but the bridges have barriers you can break through. And from what I remember in Horizon 4, they didn't do that. Like it would stop you from falling off the bridge, but essentially does not do that in this game, and you fall into the river or whatever's below you. So you got to pay attention more on the bridges. I'm sure they did that to a degree. Oops, I keep forgetting I have a fully manual car here. But yeah, little things like that are different on this map. We are on, you know, the complete other side of the earth as well. That does play a part in it. I love all the nuances with engaging gears and clutch and everything. It'll sound smooth if you do a smooth shift. It'll sound a little rougher if you don't totally nail it. Nice to hear all the sounds. I'm excited for that part, because that was a thing that they focused on a lot in the pre-release videos in development of this game, was the engine sounds. So if it's anything like this car, I think we're in good hands. So anyway, that is just a quick look at this new world, and hopefully my little insights helped shine some light on more of the specifics. I know there's plenty of other videos showing the map and everything out there, and we'll see more of it as we play more. But yeah, I think for the enthusiast, these little upgrades, or these little I don't know if they're called fixes, whatever you might want to call them, I think it's going to help to add to the experience quite nicely. Realism or otherwise, it's a good improvement given circumstances for the previous game. So anyway, hopefully that wasn't too much blabbing on, but I am looking forward to spending a lot more time in this game and kind of figuring out the map, cars, new roads. Road textures are different, so lots to learn here. But anyway, if you like what you saw, please consider liking or maybe subscribing if you want to see more of these videos. And until next time, thanks guys.